Shabbat Shalom, L'chaim L'chaim. This week's Torah portion is Nasso, which continues the theme of counting the tribes, of the last tribes of Levi and his children's tribes, really. It really has a few main themes, some of which are the wayward wife, a wife that was not faithful to her husband. There's the laws about the Kohanim's blessing, the laws of the Nazir, the laws, not really the laws, but the end of the Torah portion talks about the offerings brought to the Mishkan, which was just completed by Moshe. It's a bit of a time travel back in time. And what I wanted to focus on was a Dvar Torah that I heard by Rav Silber, who brought from Rav Kook. And he speaks about the laws of the Nazir, because the Nazir, who is a person who takes on a vow. He says, I'm not going to cut my hair, I'm not going to have wine or grapes or anything derived from grapes, and I'm going to basically abstain from those things. And it says in the Torah that he becomes holy to HaShem. And at the end of his vow, which could be at minimum 30 days, he goes to the Beis HaMikdash, or the Mishkan, and he brings an offering. And a few offerings, actually. But the one offering that he brings is a sin offering. And so they ask, is being a Nazir a good thing or a bad thing? Because on the one hand, he's called holy to HaShem, but on the other hand, he has to bring a sin offering at the end of it. And so Rav Silber relates this to Rav Kook in his Hilchos Tshuva, where he speaks about Tshuva as some people do Tshuva slowly but surely, but other people, it's kind of like jumping into a hot bath. And they get out, and slowly, the water cools down. He says, this is what Shmuel Silver says, this is the Nazir. The Nazir says, I need to make a drastic change in my life. I need to do something quite extreme. And he makes a big change. And Rav Kook would say that after doing this, and the Rambam would say, that after doing this, he will slowly come back to a better way of life. He does something very extreme, and then slowly, he finds his way somewhere in the middle. And I think this is one of the messages that this Torah portion is trying to communicate. That if you're a person that has some bad quality, or you have something that you really need to work on, you need to do tshuva. But what kind of tshuva will you do? Will you make a drastic change and say, you know what, I'm going to go kind of like cold turkey in a good way. I'm going to try and find something and change, in the best way possible, or cut out this bad habit completely. And then slowly, I'll come back to being, at a good place, in a nice, happy medium. Or are you going to do tshuva in a way of slowly but surely working on yourself each day a little bit? And I think the sages would say the best way is to do it slowly but surely. But at times, we all have this in our life where we need to make a big change. And I know for me personally, a lot of the biggest areas of my growth came with big changes or big situations in my life. So I hope that we can all think about this. Maybe we all have these moments in our past, or moments that we think, should happen, things that we think should change. And maybe it's time that we make those big leaps. Shabbat Shalom.